All right, good evening. This is Coach Big Pete. Time now for the I'll say last Sunday conclusion of the regular season, week 9. Um, some talking points, basically. I think the main thing that we can look at, and I think was big, was the game that I was at Saturday, Peoria, Notre Dame versus Normal West beat Normal West. I do think Peoria Notre Dame looks good going into the playoffs. Also, the Glenbard North win. I think the Glenbard North going into the playoffs, this coming into the playoffs is a scary team, and I wish a lot more people would be talking about Glenbard North. I said if they won their games, because they had a little bit of a tough beginning of the season, if they won their games, they'd be scary. And you know what? Glenbard North has a great secondary, great group of linebackers, great offensive line. They can do what they set out to do before the season started. Also, Batavia's lost to St. Charles North. A huge win for Coach Pomzak. He tied with the deep dish. He's tied with the Pumpkin Spice Donut Coach of the Night award with Coach Talia Piaton, who beat Hersher. Two huge wins. St. Charles North, big win against Batavia, undefeated. Batavia was undefeated going up against St. Charles North, and they won. Same way as Hersher went up against Piaton, and Hersher lost to Piaton. So it's a great win for those Blue Devils, the Piaton Blue Devils, going 8-1 this season, and they deserve all the respect in the world. Also, Coach Hazlitt of Streeter. Streeter's was 5-4, if I'm not mistaken, and they are in the playoffs. It's just it's it's a testament to what Coach Hazlitt has done for that team. He's doing an unbelievable job again. Uh, I think this is his third year as coach. He's worked wonders with that program. Also, Rochester beating Springfield. Big thing, and this is something big to sing. Nic Baker, their starting quarterback, Nic Baker, has not thrown an interception all the season. I'll say this again. Nic Baker has not thrown an interception all this season. Nic Baker of Rochester. And that's impressive. Nic Baker. I'm going to keep saying it again. Nic Baker. No thrown interception. That's impressive. Another one. Mount Carmel comes back and wins the game. Coach Lenny can celebrate. He deserves it. I'm going to get into a little bit of the darkness of Week 9 of people calling out coaches on forums and message boards. There's no need for that BS. If you're not going to say it to the coach's face, then why the hell would you put it on a message board in a forum? Basically, you're just a gutless little punk, to be honest. And there's going to be, and like I said, there's going to be more of a revolution coming up these few years. There's going to be a lot more older coaches dropping from the map, and it's going to be more younger and more younger and more younger coaches than that. Honestly, if I was an older coach, I wouldn't deal with that bullshit. Honestly, if I'm in my 40s or 50s, or I have a family, I don't want to deal with that BS anymore. Honestly. Also, Lake Park loses to Naperville Central. Naperville Central is looking good into the playoffs. That's another team that you want to keep an eye on that I've talked about numerous times. Peyton Thorne's doing a great job quarterbacking that team. Um, Phillips keeps on winning. Phillips looking great going into the playoffs. Right along with their words of Lincoln Way East. Lincoln Way East does a great job. Lincoln Way East pulls a rabbit out of the head and wins against Bolingbrook. They are 9-0. I call them Lincoln Way Beast now. That's all I'm going to call them. Not Lincoln Way East, Lincoln Way Beast. That's honest. Homewood Flossmoor is a team that also needs to be talked about too. They're going to be a very key close-eyed team to look at during the season. I'm forgetting one more school that I want to talk about. Sterling, Sullivan, 25th touchdown, leading touchdown record holder now at Sterling. Sterling is 9-0. Just remember that. Sterling is 9-0. A lot of people aren't talking about him. Again, another team that deserves the respect of being talked about. Also, Aurora Christian wins. They are into the playoffs. They're into the 2A playoffs. Aurora Christian, again, these are teams that you want to keep your eye at. They're very low. They're very low seeded teams that probably could go on a winning streak. I see this right now and this is part of the Sunday conclusion. Final thoughts. I see this right now. 1A, 2A, 3. I think we have a pretty good idea. 4A, 2. 5A, pretty good idea. 6, 7, and 8A are a complete blow in the wind. A complete. I can say Lincoln Way East is the best team in the 8A. I can say that, but again, there's going to be so many contributing factors, and you got Maine South, Glenbard West, those type of teams, those type of run-oriented teams, execution discipline teams, where they don't have the basis of a talent level that these other teams have. Those are the scary teams. Those are the teams that shock the world, and there's plenty of them in the 8A bracket. So it's something to look out for. Also, look out at Normal. I think a lot of people are downplaying Normal, and I've talked about Normal, but they deserve hats off for that. Also, this is part of the Sunday conclusion. If you're done playing, guys, if you're not playing in the playoffs at all, please go out for that winter and spring sport. Do not specialize in one sport. Go out for basketball, wrestling. Please do. It will help you. Also, go to recruiting advice if you need recruiting advice on deepdishfootball.com. It's on the section. Click on it. There's a bunch of recruiting surveys on via YouTube and everything else, and it's just good. Please start with the 3 recruiting questionnaires. Fill them all out on the Athletic websites. Please do. That's just my recruiting advice. Let's get started talking about IHSA playoffs. And remember, Maine West versus this is gonna kill me. Bennett Academy Deep Dish Football Game of the Week this Friday and Saturday overtime game, playoff game. Springfield High School versus Nazareth Academy. It's going to be a great game. I can't wait. Please visit deepdishfootball.com. Please follow Coach Big Pete, Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. Sponsors, advertisers, if you are interested, please let me know. Have your things featured in the videos and everything else. Talking to a few schools. They're sending me their jerseys, so they're going to be featured in the back. It should be a fun time. Let me know. My email is coachbigpete@fp@gmail.com. This has been the Sunday conclusion. Final week, week 9. Let's get into the playoffs.